In this video, I'm going to show you how I took a crack that looks like this and turned it into something like this. Watch to the end to see how I made this bumper look like new again. Here I'm using a tool called a hot stapler. This tool is going to help you give the proper backbone to make sure this crack does not come back again. Check out the link in the description or the comment section. Grab a pair of wire cutters and snip off the ends, or you can take a grinder and grind them off. I typically use two different methods to fill in the cracks. Here I'm using a zip tie to melt into the crack. Another method that I typically do is I'll take the soldering iron and use the plastic from the bumper to fill into the crack. As you can see, by me pushing on it, this crack is pretty solid. Grab an electric DA with 120 grit sandpaper to smooth out the roughness of the bumper. Grab a towel to wipe the dust off. Next, I'm going to use a thick layer of body filler. Smooth it out so that way each side is nice and even, and feather the edges out. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. Body work is probably one of my weaker areas. If any of you guys have any tips or tricks, please let me know in the comments below so that way I can better myself. Here I'm using 120 to knock down the high edges. Grab a squirt bottle with some water and scuff the bumper up really good so that way the primer has something to stick to. Wipe the bumper down with a paper towel. Next, we're going to move on to priming. I'm using Spray Max Gray Primer. I put about 2 to 3 coats on. Let the primer dry for about 20 minutes. Then grab your water bottle and wet sand with an 800 grit wet sanding sponge. Make sure the bumper is nice and smooth. Then we're going to wipe it off with a paper towel. Spray it down with water and clean it off again. Once the bumper is nice and dry, grab a tack cloth to get rid of any debris or dirt. Now we're going to move into the final stages of painting and clearing. This color only needed about 2 coats of paint. Once the bumper is all covered in, we're going to grab a tack cloth again and tack off one final time to get rid of any dirt or debris before hitting it with a clear coat. I am using a 4:1 high gloss clear coat. Make sure when you're applying the clear that you're overlapping about 6 inches on each pass. Also, make sure that you're applying it nice and slow. This video is sped up, so it looks like I'm applying it really fast. If you have any questions or tips of your own, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you.